we go. Oh my god. Hi everyone, today is day 27. We are a day before our last day together for this 28-day live stream challenge. Happy Tuesday. I just got back from Taco Tuesday. And I have to face this truth that because throughout this live stream challenge, I've been present with the world, sharing my unraveling, my unfolding, and my understanding of these concepts, of core concepts and themes of each age. And today is day 27, so I have to reflect on what just happened last year, and here we are. I have to face it. So, with that said, I'm going to share how I came up with today's topic, mirror. Let me do that, hold on. So, hi everyone. So I came up with the topic of mirror because I learned of this concept when I was reading the book, when I stumbled on this book to get over something that I did not understand going on in my current life at the end of last year. And I revisited this book. This book is called Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. If it sounds familiar, yes, this is the book that inspired the movie Eat, Pray, Love to come to life. It's about I'm just going to read the back so you guys get a wholesome context of what this book is. In her early 30s, Elizabeth Gilbert had everything a modern American woman was supposed to want. Husband, country home, successful career, but instead of feeling happy and fulfilled, she felt consumed by panic and confusion. This wise and rapturous book is the story of how she left behind all these outward marks of success and of what she found in their place. Following a divorce and a crushing depression, Gilbert set out to examine 3 different aspects of her nature, set against the backdrop of 3 different cultures: pleasure in Italy, devotion in India, and on the Indonesian island of Bali, a balance between worldly enjoyment and divine transcendence. That doesn't really give you a full picture from my experience of like what this book is about. So basically, in simple, blatant terms, this book is a true story of the author of the book, and she had this moment in her life when she was in her early 30s where she was married and she had the dream she dreamt of having. She was a writer and she was writing for newspapers, and she had the wealth and she was unhappy, and she had to really face what that was, and it led to a divorce. And so this whole book is about her going through all that, how she overcame that, how the relationship between her ex-husband and her turned out throughout her journey trying to find herself. And she did it through meditation in India, and she talks about the relationships that she's created throughout that journey to find herself and to really listen and be able to listen to that higher version of herself and of God's voice. And so the way she okay, so anyway, so this book, I read this when I was at a time in my life where everything came crashing down, in terms of my daily routine shifted. I had a set schedule every day, and I had a reason to wake up, and I had everything, and I thought, like, as I continue living that way, that things will be fruitful, and that they are. Like, I believe that was fruitful, and I knew, like, the pursuit to attaining more success and grow in my career, that would be possible in that I am working hard and diligently and trying to be there for people around me. And end of last year, all that came to a stop when my ability to do that, the foundations that allowed me to do that, kind of went poof and disappeared. So I had to rebuild everything. My support system, the one person I confided in throughout all this, disappeared, and I didn't know what to do. So today's topic, I know today's intro is a little bit all over the place, but to be honest, I'm having a difficult time even talking about this because I am still going through it, in that I've made peace with what had happened, but just being able to talk about it with the world is still, I don't know what's gonna happen when I talk. So let's see what happens. So today's topic is mirror. And I want to talk about that concept because I think for age 27, not just my personal narrative, but I feel like there are many, at least in my circle of friends, there were people coming out of long-term relationships or a job that they were at for more than a year. And so I wanted to revisit that concept of mirror. And what that is I recognized the people that hurt us the most, that we love, are our soulmates, from what I understand. And I just want to bring that concept out, and then we're going to talk about that. What does a soulmate mean? And what does this mirroring effect mean? And when we meet this soulmate, how do we come to terms with how it grows to? I'm still trying to understand how to talk about it. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna play some piano and then we'll get into the topic. We're gonna work this out together tonight. My intention today is to work through this mirroring effect and share how I came to terms with it. Hi James, welcome to stream. Yeah, today I am a little late on stream, but thank you for tuning in even though it's late. Today we're gonna work through a very challenging topic for me, but I want to address it because it's something that I recently went through and it's something that I have to process and I need to be able to talk about it. And I want to do it within this 28-day live stream challenge because I do want to, within this context of showing my whole self up unapologetically to the world, like my unraveling, I want to share this with you guys. So I'm not going to share what happened, but I want to share how I processed it, what happened when I was 27, because it directly reflects today's topic of mirror. And I think in our lifetime we get to the point in our lives where we recognize there are friends, loved ones that we meet who are our mirrors for ourselves. And I'll explain what that is. But with that said, I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna get started by grounding myself with some piano, and I will share my thoughts on it. So welcome to stream. I want to talk about soulmate today and the mirroring effect. We're gonna process this together, guys. I'm gonna learn how to articulate where my pace is at with that right now. So, welcome to stream. Also, today is the second to last day of our live stream challenge journey together. So since it is late and it's a Tuesday, if you guys are tuning in at a future time, thank you for being present with me throughout my journey to understand myself and to show up for the world and learn how to be comfortable in my own skin, revisiting these concepts of each age group. And before you go, if you do happen to get to this part of the video, please like the video. Let me know that you have been present with me with my unraveling. And also remember to subscribe and hit the bell, because perhaps after this live stream challenge, I will be doing other projects. And so I would like you guys to continue following me on my journey to be present in the world. So please do that. And you're always welcome to share any thoughts or emotions, feelings, ideas that you have that comes into your head, throughout your body, in the comments below, because I read everything too, so you could do that. But yeah, I will be playing some piano to kind of center my energy, because I just came back. So happy Tuesday, happy day 27. James, how was my day? Today was Tuesday. Today was, the first half of today for me was insightful for me, in that there were things happening literally in front of my face outside that confirmed to me that I'm in a good place within myself. I lost count of how many yellow butterflies I've seen, but that confirmed to me that I'm in a good place within myself, and it makes me really happy. And so I felt really happy today. I walked outside and I felt the sun, and it felt so good. It felt so good. Yeah, so the first half was beautiful, and the second half was interesting. It was my first time being in a setting where you kind of have to, like, you literally don't know anything about the other individual, and like, I recognized that this individual had... Oh, thank you, James. Oh, James says, I'm happy that you're in a good place. Thank you. I recognized this individual, like, I don't know, I think it's really interesting. I don't know. Anyways, I had a good time. We had Taco Tuesday today, and yeah, I met people today, and it was interesting. Let's just leave it at that. But I had a good day. Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna try to gather my energy for today's topic. I am really looking forward to what comes out, because I really do want to address the mirroring effect. And Yeah, so I will do that once I kind of get centered here. Okay, I don't usually do this, but I'm actually gonna be in silence for a little bit because I'm like, yeah, I feel very jumpy, and I feel a little jumpy, so I'm going to be kind of like silent for a couple minutes. Bear with me. You could tune in a few minutes if you want to hear me talk about the mirroring effect and my soulmate experience. So I'll be right back. I just need to center myself. need my charger too right now. Okay, hold on. Charger. Okay, sorry, I need my laptop charger. Hold on. Yes, today's stream is going to be an interesting one again, as always. Laptop, white one, let go. I have a big yellow stain. Sorry, that was an ad for the SoundCloud. Okay, so. Okay, so I'm just going to. Oh my dear heavens. Okay, I got this. Okay. Alrighty. Today's topic. I just need to get into it. I think. I just need to get into it. Let's just get into it. Okay, I'm gonna. Perhaps I won't feel ready, but I just need to do it because we are live and unfolding together. Okay, so hi everyone. It is very late tonight, but it is the pace I'm at, and I chose a topic that I so I choose topics that will resonate with the collective, the age collective. So that while I'm also grounding myself with the core foundations of a core milestone or a core concept of the age group. So today is age 27. Even though it's challenging for me to share some of the things that I possibly may be going through with this topic, I wanted to do this because I think within our 20s, we learn of this concept of mirrors in our lives. So let me define what I mean by mirrors in our lives. So I recently learned of this effect in this book. I know in the beginning of the stream I shared this, but this is the book that taught me about the mirror effect. So the context that she uses it in was when she talked about her relationships. So when we get into a very intimate relationship, emotionally intimate relationship, and possibly physical intimacy as well, I think we have experiences where we recognize them immediately because they are very specific things within us, whether they are like little nuanced things within our lives that make us who we are that we don't really talk about, but when you get to know this person, you recognize, oh my gosh, like this person has also been like, how do I explain this? So through the other individual you are intimate with emotionally and you connect deeply with, you recognize a part of you that you didn't recognize before. So for instance, like and it could be actually, see, I'm trying to work it out. So it could actually be a direct communication from the individual to you, sharing like, oh, I think you could work on this, or oh, these are your strengths, or something. You have that conversation, whether it's about a habit you have, or like the way you think that doesn't help you grow, or whatever it may be. I think there are those individuals in our lives that are a that are able to make you understand through who they are, like the deepest parts of ourselves that we can't and won't confront unless we're able to see it. But we see it through the intimacy that we have with the other person. So that hopefully makes sense, and that is your mirror. Your mirrors are most likely your soulmate. So yeah, I don't want to refer to the book again. So see, I'm trying to work through what I'm trying to say because this is such a difficult topic, but I wanted to address it because it's very important. Hold on, let me see what I wrote for the title because that helps me. I'm so sorry. That was not what I thought would happen if I moved my arm. Okay. We are too similar. We are too different. You were my mirror. Okay. Or I should have put you are my mirror. Okay, so I guess today's topic is more about intimate relationships. And most of us have had at least one intimate relationship, but from my most recent experience, there's a particular intimate relationship that you have with someone, and no matter how long it's been for both of you knowing each other, or I'm just gonna talk about me. No matter how long we've known each other, I think there's this connection that's undeniable, and I think throughout the time we got to know each other, we recognized there are so many similarities between us, right? And then there's also a lot of differences within us. But then there was a period where we were able to talk about it. But I think towards the end, there came a point where instead of talking about how to come to the middle, it was more I think that was when both of us recognized, or at least for me, it's when we recognized that we are each other's mirrors, and that we had to grow up. And in our lifetime, when we meet someone that you have instant connection with, and you feel like, even if it was the first time you've met them, like you feel like you've known this person for like years, you've like known them since childhood type of feeling. From my understanding, that is your soulmate, and this individual came into your life I didn't know, but they came into your life to provide you a lesson, and it's one of the hardest lessons that you have to embody, and it unfortunately includes you having your heart broken, because I'm actually going to quote the book, because so the reason why I bring out this book is because this is the book that helped me through like all the confusion and everything. Like this is so I'm going to share Okay, the intention that I have for today's stream, because I think I need to make that intention so that we're all on the same page. Today's intention of the stream, again, is to share my stream of consciousness on the topic that I have chosen based on a collective theme or milestone of the age of the number of the day. So since today is the 27th day of our live stream challenge together, the collective theme that I brought out is for age 27 was mirror. And mirror in the context of relationships. Our, like, how do we recognize who our mirrors are? And when we get to the point in the relationship, whether it is an intimate relationship, like a relationship, not like friendship, but like a relationship, when we get to the point where we recognize this individual is our mirror, how then do you make the decision to confront ourselves with that? And when you recognize that the other individual is your mirror, meaning the things you have to work on is so transparent when you're with this individual, because this individual is your mirror because they help you be your best self, because they mirror what you have. They mirror who you are in that how do I explain this? They mirror how you are by not telling you who you are, but like just their presence, like who, like the love that you guys share together. How do I explain this? So the lesson that your soulmate helps you learn comes through pain. And this lesson can only be learned through soulmates, because your soulmate, your mirror, will only help you embody what you have to face. Because if this lesson came in other forms where it wasn't an intimate relationship, it was just coming from a textbook or whatever, then it wouldn't be the lesson that you have to learn to get to the next elevated best version of yourself, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna try to find the text where it kind of explains that. So yeah, the intention of today's stream is for me to also process all this, and while I'm trying to process it verbally and share it with you guys, hopefully something resonates with you guys, and if something comes up for you guys, please do share. Hold on. I wrote notes down so that like when I was reading, so I'll just find. By the way, today's stream is not going to be just 1 hour long. I'm going to get to the end of this in terms of me not figuring out, but just exploring this concept, because I do recognize that in my most intimate relationship I've ever had with anyone in my life, to that extent, I've recognized that this individual, this soul, is my soulmate. And this individual is also my mirror, and on my pace in life. And let me try to explain what all that means. Hopefully it'll make sense if I can read a quote that explains that. So Richard from Texas shares the soulmate thing. Hold on. Sorry, there's like, you could hear things outside. James says, oh my gosh. James says, oh wow, okay. Okay. He says, you're my soulmate. That's how you survived high school. That's how I survived. So for those of you watching from the future or who is on stream with us, James, I met James at church when I was in junior high, I think, first time. And he was from Korea, and so I remember like meeting him and his family at church, and I remember they were new to our church, so I would like give them a tour of everything, you know, like being me, like trying to help people feel comfortable where they are. And yeah, so that's how I know James, from high school and junior high. But okay, okay. I don't know how to respond to that, but okay. So right now I'm looking for a quote from Elizabeth. Okay, oh, here it is. Okay, I'm gonna read this, guys. Okay, breakthrough. So let me give you context. So when Elizabeth Gilbert, when she was trying to understand her unfulfilled self while getting over a divorce, she decided to kind of, in her own pace, in her own way, try to understand like what it is deep inside. And because she wasn't religious and she didn't understand how people pray because she doesn't feel this connection with the divine, she decided to explore that, venture that. So since she had wealth, she was able to afford going to travel. And one of the places she went to in the beginning was India, and she learned for, I forgot how many months, but she was there in India learning meditation and trying to humble herself and quiet her mind and hear this higher divine God voice within her so that she'll be able to pray and find peace within her. But in that context, she meets another American there, and he was also but he was there for years trying to like meditate and quiet his mind, and he is known as Richard from Texas. In this book, she calls him Richard from Texas. And so he would always kind of be like, of course they get to know each other because they're both from America. And and Richard from Texas would kind of give Liz Gilbert a hard time, like joking around, like, oh, you can't even sit through that, like just try to just sit down, and it's okay if there's thoughts going through, like one day it's gonna work out. But then he would kind of be teasing her and stuff. Anyway, so he calls her groceries because, why does he call her groceries again? Okay, I'm getting off topic, but anyways, that's the context. So Richard from Texas is the one sharing this to Elizabeth Gilbert. So he says, groceries, listen to me. Someday you're going to look back on this moment on your life as such a sweet time of grieving. You'll see that you were in mourning and your heart was broken, but your life was changing and you were in the best possible place in the world for it. In a beautiful place of worship, surrounded by grace, take this time, every minute of it. Let things work themselves out here in India. And then Elizabeth Gilbert says, but I really loved him. And then Richard from Texas says, big deal. So by the way, these two aren't they're not romantically involved. They're just like friends. So in this context, Elizabeth Gilbert is kind of complaining, like, when am I going to forget my ex-husband? Like, when am I going to forget him? My heart's broken. I don't know. Like, how do I make peace with that? And then Richard from Texas is trying to like talk her into like talk to her so that she understands the bigger picture. Like, this summer, celebrate oh my gosh. Like, he's trying to tell her, look at the bigger picture. Of course you're grieving. Of course you're mourning. It was a special connection and it came to an end. Of course you're going to be grieving. So this is the kinds of conversation. This is the type of conversation they were having. And so she says, but I really loved him. And then he says, big deal. So you fell in love with someone. Don't you see what happened? This guy touched a place in your heart deeper than you thought you were capable of reaching. I mean, you got zapped, kiddo. But that love you felt, that's just the beginning. You just got a taste of love. That's just limited, little, rinky dink, mortal love. Wait till you see how much more deeply you can love than that. Heck, groceries, you have the capacity to someday love the whole world. It's your destiny. And don't laugh. And then she said, I'm not laughing. I was actually crying. And please don't laugh at me now, but I think the reason it's so hard for me to get over this guy is because I seriously believed David was my soulmate. And then Richard says, he probably was. Your problem is you don't understand what that word means. Oh, and then here he is. I'm sorry. And then he says, he says he probably was. But your problem is you don't understand what that word means. People think a soulmate is your perfect fit. And that's what everyone wants. But a true soulmate is a mirror. The person who shows you everything that's holding you back. The person who brings you to your own attention so you can change your life. A true soulmate is probably the most important person you will ever meet because they tear down your walls and smack you awake. But to live with a soulmate forever? Nah, too painful. Soulmates, they come into your life just to reveal another layer of yourself to you, and then they leave. And I even underlined that, saying, oh my god, that's what happened to me. And then he says, and thank God for it. Your problem is you just can't let this one go. It's over, groceries. David's purpose was to shake you up, drive you out of that marriage that you needed to leave, tear apart your ego a little bit, show you your obstacles and addictions, break your heart open so new light could get in, make you so desperate and out of control that you had to transform your life, then introduce you to your spiritual master and beat it. That was his job. And he did great, but now it's over. Problem is, you can't accept that this relationship had a real short shelf life. You're like a dog at the dump, baby. You're just licking at an empty tin can trying to get more nutrition out of it. And if you're not careful, that can's gonna get stuck on your snout forever and make your life miserable. So drop it. And then she says, but I love him. And he said, so love him. And then she says, but I miss him. And then he says, so miss him. Send him some love and light every time you think about him and then drop it. You're just afraid to let go of the last bits of him because then you'll really be alone. And Liz Gilbert is scared to death of what will happen if she's really alone. But here's what you gotta understand. If you clear out all that space in your mind that you're using right now to obsess about this guy, you'll have a vacuum there, an open spot, a doorway. And guess what? The universe will do with that doorway? It will rush in. God will rush in and fill you with more love than you ever dreamed. So stop using him to block that door. Let it go. And then, so then the conversation continues, but so the part where he talks about, the mirror, there it is. The person who shows you everything that's holding you back. The person who brings you to your own attention so you can change your life. They're going to they tear down your walls and smack you awake. They came into your life just to reveal another layer of yourself to you, and then they leave. So when I thought about that, hold on. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, so with that, I wanted to address that because I think we have people in our lives that we think will stay in our lives forever, but because you're so in love. But they leave one day. And they came into your life for a reason and they left for a reason. So leave it at that. And you are at your own pace. So yes. Wow, today's stream is very interesting. What time is it, by the way? Hold on. 46 minutes, not bad. Okay, so again, your mirror is someone that you recognize as your true soulmate because, hold on, I should have. I'm gonna read this again. Let's just think about this. A true soulmate is your mirror. The person who shows you everything that's holding you back. The person who brings you to your own attention so you can change your life. A true soulmate is probably the most important person you'll ever meet because they tear down your walls and smack you awake. They come into your life to reveal another layer of yourself to you, and then they leave. So when I read that while I was trying to understand why this individual left, at the time I couldn't, I was so grateful of the experiences that I've had, and the moments of reflection of myself that I had through this individual, but I remember just being hurt because I understood this important individual to be my forever, and it came to an end. So, but what I want to tell myself and remind myself again right now at this moment with the pace that I have is you never know. You just can't ever know. And I think what we need to recognize is, okay, someone very important to you that you confided in isn't there anymore. Well, that's a change, yes. Yes, it hurts, but obviously on their pace of their life and their agency, they recognize that they weren't in the right alignment with themselves, so they decided to leave. Whatever their reason, I want to tell you that, again, we each are on our own unique path to aligning ourselves and own unique way of aligning and being aware of ourselves. And yeah, so if you were able to meet this individual, the soulmate of your life, be thankful you met them, and be thankful that you guys shared love and intimacy and growth together while you guys had the time together. But don't be hurt. Look at the bigger picture. They're growing, you're growing, so who knows? Who knows what happens? We could only know for sure this right now. So, what else can I share? When we meet people who, even by their presence in our lives, help you see yourself, your naked self, they help you see what you need to work on, help you see that you have to focus on yourself. Those individuals are your mirrors because they help you see your unhealed trauma. They bring out both the worst part of you and the worst part of you, meaning the internal things that you have not healed. And this isn't about relationships. Like the internal struggle you have, the childhood traumas you've had, those individuals help you reflect on that and work on that and heal that part. And usually when that light is shed, when you recognize, okay, this is a mirror moment, like this individual is helping me see me for like who I am, and my like, they help me recognize my pace. They are not trying to hurt you. They are not there to hurt you. They love you, and in a way they are also your guardian angels, because they see something in you that you clearly cannot see still. So they left for a reason, because you need to confront yourself. It was time. So I'm telling this to myself. You are whole as is. You've recognized the inner demons you have inside. You don't have to hide. You don't have to hide. Because look what hiding has got you. Now you're kind of overcompensating in terms of like, you're like wide open. So like, I know this live stream challenge was an experiment for me to gauge what I would look like, what I would talk like, what I would feel like, what I would share unapologetically, just limitless. What would I do if given time to share my energy with the world? I know that. But I think even doing this, if it wasn't for the individual, I probably would not even be here. I would probably still be in hiding, probably. I don't know. But I want to remind us to thank those of us that had experiences coming across or crossing paths with mirrors. We're our soulmates. And it's okay if they leave, because recognize that each person has their own pace in life, and it just wasn't aligning. You can't force someone to stay where they can't stay or don't want to stay. Or if they don't see growing together a possibility. It is, yeah. So how can I talk about this more? I got an image right now, like when you watch Taylor Swift's Delicate music video, there's a scene. So the whole music video is of Taylor Swift kind of opening up. Like, she's in the music video, she is this movie star, she's a singer, she's an actress, or like she's this pop icon. She has a gorgeous dress on, there's bodyguards surrounding her, and she's being escorted into like this beautiful hotel area. And in the dressing room, makeup room, she opens up a note that she finds, and she opens it up, and it's a little note. And through the music video, it's her kind of learning to dance her own dance, and she recognizes that people around her, they are mimicking and also following her like every move. And so she's kind of like recognizing, do they not see me? And then there's a scene in the elevator where there's this older lady looking at the mirror inside the elevator and she's putting on lipstick. And wait, hold on. Should I watch it? So she's putting on lipstick. She's facing, no, forget about the mirror. So she's looking at Taylor Swift and she's putting on lipstick and she's smiling, and Taylor Swift thought the lady was smiling at Taylor Swift, but it ended up she was just looking at a mirror. And so what am I trying to say with this? Was that the music video? Let's see, hold on. I know it's really late right now. Like, I'm still trying to... Hold on. Let's see. Delicate. Hold on. Yeah, I'm not gonna make the same mistakes by putting on Taylor Swift's music on stream, but... Okay, so... Yeah, let me just show you guys. Where's the elevator? Oh, yeah. Okay, so watch this. So while she's doing her own dance, like kind of feeling out her own groove. Do you guys see it? Hold on, did you guys see that? Okay. Okay, just watch. I don't know if you guys could see. Oh yeah, there you go. Okay, so you saw that she thought the woman was looking at her, but the woman was actually looking at herself. So what am I trying to go at with that? So let's work this out. Okay, so when you're in a relationship, wow, it's been an hour and I feel like I honestly feel like I'm kind of going in circles. Okay, so when we fall in love, sometimes there's like no reason, but sometimes it's also because when you try to think of a reason, it's because this individual makes you feel like you've like known them forever and they just are your support. They're like your everything, and along the road you realize you guys are very different, and in the beginning that difference was a good thing, but how do I explain what I like feel? Right now I feel like I'm writing an essay that I have not read books for. Because also I'm trying to process my own understanding of this concept of mirror, right? Perhaps today's topic isn't as like it's difficult for me to process for some reason, but I did choose it because I did want to address this because it's something we all come across in our lives. Okay, so the purpose of this live stream is to share my presence, so I'm just gonna play a little bit more piano. Wow, what's wrong with me today? I'm gonna tie my hair. It's really hot in here. And it's also really late, so I'm going to end stream. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I've been honest, but today I just kind of feel, I mean, during this live stream, I'm feeling, I think it's because I'm under, like, I have a certain expectation of how this live stream is supposed to turn out at the end, and I have this pressure that I can't get off of myself of having a takeaway for today's topic, because I'm still working it out. And working it out meaning I think time will help me in that this concept of mirrors, and if we find mirrors in our lives, whether it's through friends or relationships, how do we perhaps I'm thinking about it in a more complex way than it has to be. Okay, so yes, you identified that someone in your life was a soulmate. Yes, you identified someone in your life was your mirror. What is the point you're trying to make? Perhaps because I am trying to focus on, like, I'm on the current journey to really just ground myself. It's I think I have a difficult time thinking of the other in it with the same intensity, because I think I've been so burned, I think, from my experience. Like, I feel like I'm still going through it. Like, I'm still trying to, like, I came to peace with it. Like, how each day is unfolding, I've came to peace with that because I'm trying to ground myself and focus on my energy. Perhaps that's that. Like, yes, you found your soulmate, but I think what I'm trying to avoid right now is talking about heartbreak, in that I recognize when I talk about that, it'll bring back, am I stuck again? I'm not stuck again. I'm just like, I don't know how to articulate the confusion that I have in my head of, like, this concept that I'm, like, trying to have a takeaway for. I think what I'm trying to say is right now, this awareness that I have right now as I'm present with the world right now in this moment at 12:26 a.m., I am for the topic of mirror and the role of my soulmate is perhaps me trying to talk about it is not something that I should be doing, is what I'm getting, because I don't have any words for it, because I think I've let go of so much the pain that I don't want to bring it back, type of thing. Like the emotions attached to interesting. Okay. Right now I'm doing this because I'm trying to gather my thoughts, because I feel like I'm getting something, but like it's like that. You know, when in Ratatouille, when you okay, so there's this movie called Ratatouille where the mouse learns how to be a chef because his dream is to be a chef, but he's a mouse, so then, or a rat. So he can't. But then one of the chefs at one of the best restaurants, one of the assistant chefs um, finds this rat, and then the rat learns how to cook from this, or teaches the chef how to like have good sauces and stuff. And he brought out, why am I talking about this? He brought out like really good food for his other rat friend, and he was telling the rat friend, because the rat just eats everything with like no appreciation for the food. So then he tells his rat friend to close his eyes, and then he gives his rat friend different types of food, and he tells him to close his eyes, and then guides him of this experience of food, saying like, imagine you see fireworks and like you feel like sparkles and bubbly, and then the friend's like, mm-hmm. So what I'm trying to say is what am I trying to say? Why did I even get into that? Why am I so like, okay, what am I trying to say? What am I trying to do? Guys, I am being myself. Okay, what am I trying to do? Why did I bring that up? Rat. Why did I bring up Ratatouille? I'm so sorry. I just lost my train of thought. It is so hot in here. Oh, that's why I brought it up. Okay, so the reason why I do this instead of play the piano is because I feel like I'm getting to a thought, like the experience of, like I'm getting to like a takeaway that I could share, but then it kind of dissipates. So it's like in the Ratatouille scene where his friend closes his eyes and like waits for his guidance to like feel something, but then like when he says, do you feel the fireworks, and then the friend's like, not yet, and he doesn't see the fireworks. It's like that. Like I feel like there's a takeaway here, but I do feel like maybe it's not something that I could put into words. Maybe I could like, and also today's stream is longer than an hour because obviously I'm trying to process something very still raw. The other topics were raw as well, but this one is raw in that the wound is obviously like I not the wound, but like the processing of it is still undetermined. I'm at peace with it, like emotionally, but I'm just still kind of not all okay. So perhaps I could play something. Okay, here it goes. Okay, yeah, unraveling. I'm going to play something that I wrote when I like this, when I couldn't write, I couldn't talk, I couldn't do anything. Like I started playing the guitar, and then like a song came out, and then it became a song. So let me actually look up the lyrics so I remember. This is a song that I wrote when I didn't have words of what I was feeling, but it was all emotion, and I didn't know how to release it because um, because I respect boundaries, because I don't want to reach out if this other individual did not want to be in contact. So I'm going to and the reason why I'm sharing all this again, my presence with this topic and this, is because throughout the past throughout the past 27 days, I've been completely unapologetically myself with my processing of thoughts and feelings and emotions and everything. And so this is what's coming out. So I'm sharing this with you guys. I want to release it. So here it is. And release it meaning, yeah, okay. I'm gonna play it. Hold on. Hold on. I'm looking up my own lyrics because, hold on, let's see. Because I want to play what happened when I got stuck with my emotions and I didn't know how to release it. It wasn't that I didn't know and I was like, oh, music. It was like I saw my guitar and I just started strumming, and then I just started singing, and then I recognized it was a song, so then I recorded myself. Okay. Okay, let's go. Here, I'm gonna do this. Let's make the best of it. Okay. So this song is called With You. Oh, I don't know if I should sing this song on live. I'll just hum it because I feel like this belongs to one person, so. Oh. Okay, I feel like I should sing it now because it's coming out. Maybe I should just do it. I'll just do it. Okay, I'm just gonna do it. Okay. Baby, sorry, had to hurt. Baby, I'm sorry, had to leave and me cry. Hi. like this is bringing back all that. Oof. Again, this is not a live stream where everything was planned. I am living in the moment right now, so I did intend to sing this song, but I feel like I can't because it's making me feel something that I have already processed that I currently do not want to revisit. So, interesting day today. Today's topic is so interesting, isn't it? Mirrors. Can I identify other mirrors in my life? So you meet your mirrors, your soulmates, I think. Well, there's one soulmate, I believe, in my experience. For mirrors, I feel like you have multiple mirrors though, like the people that come into your life to help you see who you really are, whether it's bad or good, like who you really are, like help remind you who you really are. And they help you confront the deepest, darkest parts of you. And they do it risking the friendship or the relationship you've both shared because they care about your growth and they want you to be your best selves. I really wish I had more takeaways for today's topic. I do not regret choosing this topic in that it was a topic that needs to be addressed for our 20s. So, how do I feel about it? I'm thankful, but I feel like right now at my pace in my life, I'm just, or perhaps it's right now. Here, let me try to feel it. I feel be kind to yourself. Okay, so why don't we do this? So today I shared my back and forth stream of consciousness of mirrors. Most of you are probably already sleeping, so but there's one person watching. Whoever you are, and if you're watching from the future, please join. I want us to kind of reflect on, while I'm being reflective of it, let's do an exercise together. So I'm gonna put on some I want us to, for those of you that are watching from the future and you're still watching my present moment, the intention of us closing our eyes together and taking deep breaths is to have a time of reflection together. And I'm going to do a guided meditation together. And meditation, for those of you that are kind of cringy right now, like, ooh, meditation, like I don't want to like do religious things. Meditation is honestly just you're allowing yourself to kind of get your mind to go silent, or you're just taking time with stillness. So, hold on, this song is a little harsh. It's a little harsh too. Let's do this one. Okay, so everyone's sleeping right now, but I am going to be present right now because I want to process this topic of mirrors. So the intention of the guided meditation right now that I'm doing together with you guys is to recognize who your mirrors are. So let me guide you through that. Okay, so close your eyes. You're going to breathe in with your nose. And you breathe out with your mouth. We're going to do that for 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I want you to continue breathing like that and just listen to my voice and just give yourself the opportunity to let thoughts come through as I ask you a set of questions. Continue breathing. Who is your closest confidant in your life? Do you see this person in your head? Right now as we're present, does someone come into your head? If it's someone from your past, but you still consider them your confidant, it's fine. Just someone who reminds you of home. Someone who knows you in and out. Someone who knows you inside out. Now, what kind of expression do they have on their face as they look at you? Do you also recall a moment where you were kind of appreciative of their honesty with something they noticed about you that you didn't notice about yourself, whether positive or negative? Do you remember that? Perhaps what they shared over time, the way they do with their presence, has it made you want to hide away, or did you actually want to work on it or explore that more about yourself? And is this individual still in your life right now? If so, they are your mirrors. If not, they are your mirrors. They help you see who you are. They tear down your walls. They help you see who you are to help you to the next stage, like to help you to change your life. They help you to change your life by helping you recognize the change you need to have in your life. Now, if you have these mirrors still in your life, these individuals, I want to remind you to thank them. Thank them even if you hurt, because I assure you, they love you so deeply and they only want to help you succeed in whatever you do and be your full self, your healthy self. Now I want you to open your eyes. So I kind of needed to do that for myself as well, because I think sometimes the resistance we feel with whatever we are, the resistance we feel when we are given information about, like, feedback on who we are, and sometimes we have resistance because there are parts of us that we don't feel ready to face yet or to confront yet. When that happens, for me, most recently, when, for me, that individual, the universe kind of gave me this opportunity to really face myself by also taking this individual out of my life, and it kind of felt like it was forced, but it made me confront myself, all of myself. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is, what I don't really understand about my relationship with this mirror effect is, yes, I can identify who the mirrors of my life are currently, and I don't know what the next step is. The takeaway I would have for today's topic would be, it's so interesting. I don't know. I feel like I just defined what a mirror is today and who that mirror is, and why do I feel stuck? Perhaps that's all we need to know. Maybe after we recognize that, maybe we are currently on the path of facing ourselves, and that's that. Yeah, what point am I trying to make with today's topic? Hi, welcome to stream. Whoever just joined us, I am having a challenging time I'm having a challenging time right now. In that, like, it's difficult for me to get any more thought for this topic. And I recognize that 2 hours that we how long has it been? I recognize that the hour and a half that I've spent trying to define what a mirror and a soulmate is, I haven't shared anything other than the definition of it. Because that's just it, I believe. Because my most recent experience and my recognition of my mirror and my soulmate has been my most recent experience. And so I'm I'm living the immediate post after it. I'm trying to understand what's next. I'm not even trying to understand what's next. Okay, so when I choose these topics, I don't have a clear set idea of what I'm going to unfold. Obviously, like during the live stream, we are together present and I'm just sharing my thoughts on the core concept I bring out from the age group. So I think because it's still something I am understanding and coming to terms with, I don't have a takeaway other than hi Danny, welcome to stream. I am trying to summarize what I just talked about for the hour and a half, but I realized I just defined who a soulmate is, and how you identify who a soulmate is, and how your soulmate is a mirror for yourself. But hey, how's it going? Yes, it's really late, but I started the stream later today because I got back a little late. But this is an important topic to me because we all have a soulmate. And if you've already experienced having a soulmate where the intimacy, you literally felt like this other soul was another half of you. Like this was someone that completed you, and it's not coming from a place of because the connection that I had most recently was something I have never felt before. To that extent, to this day, it's like I will always love this individual. So this individual, okay, so in the context of, oh my gosh, how do I do this? So a mirror, okay, so since Danny just joined, Danny, I will share the definition of mirror. I know I've been doing that for the past hour and a half, but Danny just joined, so I will share that. Because I think it's important to think about the mirrors in our lives. They don't necessarily have to be a soulmate. They could be a really close friend that just helps you unveil who you are. Like they help you break your barriers. They help you, through them, their existence, you're able to see who you are. And they don't necessarily have to tell you who you are, but Danny says, joined hella late, my bad. No, it's okay. You're so welcome to be here. And I usually don't do stream this late, but I started late today, so that's why I'm still here. And hold on. There are so many good quotes in this book called Eat, Pray, Love. Okay, why don't I do this? Because she has such wise way of saying things, she has a lot of wisdom in here. I'm going to share some stuff. Wait, I need to do mirror first. Where is that quote that I shared? Okay. A true soulmate is a mirror, the person who shows you everything that's holding you back, the person who brings you to your own attention so you can change your life. A true soulmate is probably the most important person you'll ever meet because they tear down your walls and smack you awake. And they reveal another layer of yourself to you, and then they leave. I just thought, when I thought about the mirroring effect, like how you're able to, like through an intimate relationship with another soul, you're able to identify, like through their own existence and that intimacy you share, you can see like all of yourself. They like break down all your barriers, your walls to confront like the naked you. That to me was so, like, such a powerful way of understanding a relationship, like a true partnership. Since I have the book open anyways, and there's 2 of you here, or 3 of you here, I'm going to share other pieces of wisdom from this book that I underlined earlier this year when okay, I'm gonna just read stuff for you guys. The resting place of the mind is the heart. The resting place of the mind is the heart. The only thing the mind hears all day is clanging bells and noise and argument, and all it wants is quietude. The only place the mind will ever find peace is inside the silence of the heart. That's where you need to go. I don't know if that helps anyone. Oh. Okay, I really want to share something like as a takeaway because I feel like I just gave you guys a definition within the 1 hour and a half that I have with you guys. Here it is. No, wait, hold on. Okay, I think this is good. Wait, hold on. Should I read all this? Hold on, no. These are so... Okay, hold on. I want to read things to you, but like I have to read a whole text to read the whole thing for you guys to understand. Hold on. Oh. Okay. Someone left. Okay, this is about balance, so I'm just gonna read it because I underlined it. Okay. To find the balance you want, Katut spoke through his translator, this is what you must become. You must keep your feet grounded so firmly on the earth that it's like you have 4 legs instead of 2. That way, you can stay in the world, but you must stop looking at the world through your head. You must look through your heart instead. That way, you will know God. Okay, these are... Okay. Okay, so this is a letter that she wrote to herself when... Okay, I'm just gonna read this to you guys. In response... Wait, hold on. I haven't doubted its existence again since. So tonight I reach for that voice again. This is the first time I've done this since I came to Italy. What I write in my journal tonight is that I am weak and full of fear. I explain that depression and loneliness have shown up, and I'm scared they will never leave. I say that I don't want to take the drugs anymore, but I'm afraid I will have to. I'm terrified that I will never really pull my life together. In response, somewhere from within me rises a now familiar presence, offering me all the certainties I have always wished another person would say to me when I was troubled. This is what I find myself writing to myself on that page. I'm here. I love you. So this is her being kind to herself. I'm here. I love you. I don't care if you need to stay up crying all night. I will always stay with you. If you need the medication again, go ahead and take it. I will love you through that as well. If you don't need medication, I will love you too. There's nothing you can ever do to lose my love. I will protect you until you die, and after your death, I will still protect you. I am stronger than depression, and I am braver than loneliness, and nothing will ever exhaust me. Tonight, this strange interior gesture of friendship, the lending of a hand from me to myself when nobody else is around to offer solace, reminds me of something that happened to me once in New York City. I walked into an office building one afternoon in a hurry, dashed into the waiting elevator. As I rushed in, I caught an unexpected glimpse of myself in a security mirror's reflection. In that moment, my brain did an odd thing. It fired off this split-second message. Hey, you know her. That's a friend of yours. And I actually ran forward toward my own reflection with a smile, ready to welcome that girl whose name I had lost, but whose face was so familiar. In a flash instant, of course, I realized my mistake and laughed in embarrassment at my almost dog-like confusion over how a mirror works. That's so funny because I just picked this text and it's about mirrors. But for some reason, that incident comes to mind again tonight during my sadness in Rome, and I find myself writing this comforting reminder at the bottom of the page. Never forget that once upon a time, in an unguarded moment, you recognize yourself as a friend. I fall asleep holding my notebook pressed against my chest, open to this most recent assurance. In the morning when I wake up, I can still smell a faint trace of depression's lingering smoke, but he himself is nowhere to be seen. Somewhere during the night, he got up and left, and his buddy loneliness beat it too. So hopefully that resonated with someone. Also, before I leave, I want to read something that I have been reading for my past 3 streams, or not yesterday's, but the previous streams. But this is something I really want to share because it puts your life's existence into perspective, so that we're not so we see our mere existence as an energy force field that is important and vital to the universe. And that sounds very wishy-washy, but hopefully it resonates with someone. Okay. Hope you guys enjoy this. One autumn morning, as I read a dead poet's letters in my friend Wendy's backyard in San Francisco, I glimpsed... Okay, I'm going to play some piano while I do it. One autumn morning, as I read a dead poet's letters in my friend Wendy's backyard in San Francisco, I glimpsed a fragment of that atomic mutuality. Mid-sentence, my peripheral vision, that glory of instinct honed by millennia of evolution, pulls me toward a miraculous sight, a small, shimmering red leaf twirling in midair. It seems for a moment to be dancing its final descent, but no, it remains suspended there, 6 feet above the ground, orbiting in an invisible center by an invisible force. For an instant, I can see how such imperceptible causalities could drive the human mind to superstition. Could an So sorry. Could drive the human. Oh my goodness. Could drive the human. Hold on. For an instant, I can see how such imperceptible causalities could drive the human mind to superstition, could impel medieval villagers to seek explanation in magic and witchcraft. But then I step closer and notice a fine spider's web glistening in the air above the leaf, conspiring with gravity in this spinning miracle. This is my favorite quote. Neither the spider has planned for the leaf, nor the leaf for the spider, and yet there they are, an accidental pendulum propelled by the same forces that cradle the moons of Jupiter in orbit, animated into this ephemeral early morning splendor by eternal cosmic laws, impervious to beauty and indifferent to meaning, yet replete with both to the bewildered human consciousness beholding it. We spend our lives trying to discern where we end and the rest of the world begins. We snatch our freeze frame of life from the simultaneity of existence by holding onto illusions of permanence, congruence, and linearity, of static selves and lives that unfold in sensical narratives. All the while, we mistake chance for choice, our labels and models of things for the things themselves, our records for our history. History is not what happened, but what survives the shipwrecks of judgment and chance. Some truths, like beauty, are best illuminated by the sideways gleam of figuring, of meaning making. In the course of our figuring, orbits intersect, often unbeknownst to the bodies they carry. Intersections mappable only from the distance of decades or centuries. Facts cross-hatch with other facts to shade in the nuances of a larger truth, not relativism, no, but the mightiest realism we have. We slice through the simultaneity by being everything at once. Our first names and our last names, our loneliness and our society, our bold ambition and our blind hope, our unrequited and part requited love. Lives are lived in parallel and perpendicular, fathomed non-linearly, figured not in the straight graphs of biography, but in many-sided, many-splendored diagrams. Lives interweave with other lives, and out of the tapestry arise hints at answers to questions that raise to the bone of life. What are the building blocks of character, of contentment, of lasting achievement? How does a person come into self-possession and sovereignty of mind against the tide of convention and unreasoning collectivism? Does genius suffice for happiness? Does distinction? Does love? Two Nobel Prizes don't seem to recompense the melancholy radiating from every photograph of the woman in the black laboratory dress. Is success a guarantee of fulfillment, or merely a promise as precarious as a marital vow? How, in this blink of existence, book-ended by nothingness, do we attain completeness of being? There are infinitely many kinds of beautiful lives. So much of the beauty, so much of what propels our pursuit of truth stems from the invisible connections between ideas, between disciplines, between the denizens of a particular time and a particular place, between the interior world of each pioneer and the mark they leave on the cave walls of culture, between faint figures who pass each other in the nocturne before the torchlight of a revolution lights the new day, with little more than half a nod of kinship and a match to change hands. If that resonated with anyone, please let me know. Is there anything else I could share from here? Let's see. to brave the light of the world. Okay. Okay, we have to like read the whole thing to like really understand this because it's about like people in history. But for today's topic, thank you, Danny, for the confirmation. It resonated. So that was beautiful. By the way, that book is called Figuring by Maria Popova, and she actually writes blogs in that type of prose. That is her first like book. It's called Figuring. Her first book, where she put like all of the how humans understand and figure out meaning of life. So it's all about that. And she writes it in a way that's beautiful. So if you're interested, you guys should definitely check that out. She also has a blog called Brain Pickings that you could look online. And she writes on how, like we read, how different disciplines, how different people of history understand life. So today's topic was mirror. What comes to mind right now for me to feel like I have provided a takeaway for the end of the stream. I'm getting really wordy, but it's okay. Okay. Mirroring effect could also be in the context of, like when you watch your favorite TV show or you watch your favorite YouTuber and maybe they talk about your favorite subject, or they're eating your favorite food, or they're traveling somewhere that you dream of being at, like next year. I don't know, but whoever you watch, whoever you witness, whether it's on the laptop, whether it's on the phone, whether it's in person, whether you hang out with your friends often, your coworkers, any living being that you interact with or that you witness, I feel have a mirroring effect on you in terms of, I think, so it doesn't, the mirroring effect, I talked about mirroring effect for the past like hour and a half related in the context of a relationship, but if we were to talk about the mirroring effect and the mirror neurons in our daily lives, in the context of like who we come into contact with and who we witness, I would say wait. So there's actually this, I didn't address this, but there are these neurons in our brains that that fire once if you keep the exposure of something repeatedly, the mirror neurons fire and you adopt whatever it is you're looking at subconsciously. And so like for instance, mirroring effect, so like I feel like in our 20s, perhaps you have a couple years in your 20s where I can't believe I'm not playing the piano. This is progress, because I remember I played the piano because I felt not self-conscious, but I felt like anxious or something. But when I do this, it's like me actually just talking, and that's such a huge improvement for me. Mirror neurons. So, what am I trying to get at? Also, like, while I'm like sharing my thoughts, it's not me. Like, I already have my thoughts all together. I'm like I'm thinking as I'm unfolding. So thank you for being present with me. Mirror neurons, like, why is that important in our lives? What we feed our brains and what we visualize, what we expose our visuals to, our senses to, eventually that actually has, whatever you are intaking actually has an effect on the way, of course, like the way you think. And even if you are conscious of, wow, it's really late right now. Oh my gosh. There is a mirroring effect that happens in your day to day. And what am I trying to say? What is the point? I'm trying to get to a point when I'm like saying stuff, but I start and then I don't know. Okay, it's probably okay. Okay, so I know it's the second to last day of our live stream together, being present. Today's topic has definitely been a challenge for me because I was actually going to focus on heartbreak, but I realized I don't know what to talk about because I'm still, like, I don't want to speak in detail about what happened. And so I changed it to mirror, but then I also had a challenging time sharing. Like, I'm trying to process what that is still. And so today's stream is not as wholesome in that as I'm nearing the end of the stream of consciousness right now, I do feel like I haven't, my presence enough here is enough, but I do recognize there's an expectation that I have for at least the end of the stream where I do want to have takeaways that's related to the topic. But let's see. Okay, as I play the piano, even if it's off topic, I'm going to share takeaways. For those of you who are live with me tonight, it is currently 1:19 a.m. here in California. Thank you so much for being present with me and being in the now with me as I unfold my thoughts on age 27. Also, reminder, there is a playlist for this live stream challenge, and all of my live streams are recorded. So if you wanted to visit any other streams of consciousness on the topics that I've chosen, please feel free to check those out. And you're always welcome to share any of your thoughts, whether negative, positive, resonated ideas, anything. You could share it, or resources, or anything. You could share it with the world on the comments below. And I also recognize I've been okay, so since this is the second to last day of the stream, the live stream challenge, I want to again give a brief summary of my intention of the live stream challenge, because I think the intention was so important to me, because I started this live stream challenge for a very specific reason. I started it to start showing up for the world without anyone's permission. I wanted to show up with the world even if I wasn't ready. I needed my energy to be shared. And when I say energy, my presence itself and my expressions, I needed that. And on my birthday, I decided to give myself the permission slip to show up for the world in the way and the pace that I can. And I wanted to see what happens. I wanted to see how it feels I wanted to build the awareness within myself. How would it feel if I am unapologetically myself, not thinking of other boxes, not thinking about, and if I do, like that's what I'm going through in the present moment, but I wanted to, for each topic, I wanted to be building up to my 28th year. I wanted to build a very strong foundation within myself and the groundedness and awareness of myself with core themes of each age, and not my personal narrative, but bringing out that core concept from the age, and then talking about sharing my stream of consciousness on that, so that by the end, so tomorrow, I don't know how I'll feel. I don't know how I will feel tomorrow. Right now, the pace that I have, that I've been trying to tell myself and have the practice of thinking and practice of grounding, is I have the intention of this. When I do this, I want to clarify that when I am sharing myself, not just on live stream, but when I am out, or when I am interacting with someone, or I'm not going to say that every time, but when it comes to the place of me sharing my thoughts, or I want to practice doing that, because so the intention that I had when I started this live stream challenge was to show up for the world and for myself, and to gauge my energy, and to speak from a place of groundedness, because I recognize that's something that I have to work on, because the reason why I was so unhappy and stuck was because I couldn't find that centeredness. My voice, my literal, not literal voice, I couldn't hear myself. I didn't know what I actually wanted. I didn't know, like, what was going on. So with that, like, coming from that place, like being lost and not understanding myself and not knowing what I want, not knowing like how I even feel other than like I'm hurting, as I'm trying to process my energy and grounding myself, I wanted to share that unraveling with the world. So that was the intention of the live stream. And so this isn't a wrap-up video, but since I'm already talking about it, so I recognized the first half of the live stream challenge, so from like from day 1 to day 16, I've had at least 2 individuals who constantly tuned in while I was live and contributed to the stream of consciousness by sharing their pace. So like I really appreciated that, and I think what I realized was another powerful thing that I think I realized that was happening with this live stream experience was I am in a way a mirror to those that are tuning in, whether from the present moment or the future, because even though we each have such a unique pace in our lives or with ourselves of understanding the world, or understanding the chaos that goes internally, or maybe like anything that's universal, but I think the way we gauge that, everyone is so different in their pace, and most people don't even think about that. They're just like living their life. But because I'm trying so hard to be alive and keep my soul alive, I am doing things like this. Like, this is one of the things that I'm trying to do for me to understand my grounding. I realize that the community that I am a part of energetically right now, while I'm present here on live and sharing my stream of consciousness, I realize it's a mirroring effect, because I came from a place before starting this live stream where I had nothing to lose, and that I mentioned this in many streams when I first started out because I was still in that place. I came from a place where I had nothing to lose. Like wanted to be I wanted to be a part of authentic experiences. I wanted to experience what it's like to be authentic and trying not to be deceptive, trying not to be someone else, trying not to be like putting on a facade. I didn't want to I was so like in a way allergic to that type of energy where you're like putting on a facade, like you have to be perfect, you have to be and all that was coming from a place of me not feeling grounded. So if I was doing that and I was taking care of myself, I still wasn't, because I didn't face the deeper part of myself. Like I didn't value my own life. I didn't value myself. So coming from that and recognizing I do have the energy, I got up, I'm here. So coming from a place where I had nothing to lose, in that like I was trying to find myself and I started this. Now I'm at a place where, or like that, and so I didn't recognize that it would actually help other people. Like my intention started from my intention to have self-awareness and build that with each foundation. I didn't know that it would, like, my starting point was not like, what are other people gonna like? It started off with just me as my personal project, but that started to shift in it started to shift in I don't know what number day it was, but I think it started to shift in like the first quarter of the live stream challenge, where I was like, wait, like my mind started to shift. I was like, wait, I need to do something that helps other people. That's good, but this live stream challenge was first starting out from a place of me trying to just experiment with what I think, what I feel, what I like. As much as that sounds selfish, it comes from a place where I needed that. I needed that because for so long I have been not blaming other people, but like I have been so like the way, because I didn't heal my trauma, and I always thought I had to prove that I was worthy of someone's attention or prove that I was something. So I would always align with the other person's peace, the other person's intentions, I didn't have the balance. I like my groundedness was, even if I would find it, it would be like the power kind of would be given to other people, and I would allow myself to do that because I was not centered, and I just didn't know how to deal with that. So I was just kind of like giving that meaning towards like external things. So anyway, why am I sharing this? Oh yeah, my journey. So the intention in the beginning was to allow my energy, my presence, my being, my existence to just be shared. Whatever shape or form it comes out, I wanted to share that. Like live. And then I found through, I think even like day 3 or 4, I started to feel confident just sharing, even talking about my thoughts. And when I say that confident, it's like it comes from a place of like me and groundedness, meaning like I don't feel like I have to change my opinion because I sense the other person seeing me in a different light, and it's going to somehow so apart from all that, like I was just here within my own time, within my own pace. And so this journey has been so fulfilling, and that I catch myself when my shift goes to the intention first coming from another person. I see that. I could catch that. And I learned that when I feel off, or I feel, yeah, like when I feel off, or I feel like I have to change my opinion, I'm still, if I do feel that urge, I do share that. And so today's day 27, and how do I feel now? Since like a week ago, I've been feeling a lot like myself being the Jennifer who was unapologetically herself and stands firm in who she is, no matter what happens, no matter what anyone says. I kind of stand firm in, like, it starts with me first. And so I feel, not to say that I'm like, and that's coming from a place of like, I'm not saying like, oh, like I know all there is to know and I am at peace with myself, but the anxiety that I felt when I share my thoughts, or my emotion, that has gotten so much better, in that before I was so scared to share how I feel, even with my family, even with friends. I would always hide something. And it came from a place of not groundedness, but it came from a place of fear of being judged, fear of doing this. So I didn't have groundedness. So how I feel now, I recognize, now I'm able to recognize fear-based emotions versus something very pure that I want to hold high integrity of. So I feel okay. Like today's topic, mirror, was a challenge to discuss, and that I'm still trying to process what leads after you recognizing a mirror in your life, a soulmate in your life. Like, how do you go, like, what happens after that? Like, I don't know. Like, I have to live more days to figure that out. And not by head, but like through time, like I will have an understanding. But yeah, I feel better, and so that's where I'm at. And also the pace that has changed, or the pace that, did the pace change? My pace has not changed. My pace is still like, I prioritize more on what's happening right now than what happened before or like after. Like, not even just on this live stream. I've noticed I needed that, because I had so much anxiety because of the past, what happened in the past, and I get stuck in the past, and I get scared, and I get anxiety because I don't know what happened, why that person left me, or all this stuff. And then when I think about the future, it's like I had all these anxieties about where do I fit in this life, where, like, so I'm like very holy, not holy, but holy meaning like whole, full self, like I am here. And recently I had an interesting experience where I got to fully be myself in a situation where I think my past self would have been like, what the why did you just do that? But like, I feel like I honored my emotion, and I honored my integrity, and I honored my truth, and I was honest, and I shared that with someone I love, and I shared that with someone I respect and trust, because that came from like the highest, purest, truest part of myself that I am acting from. So like, yeah, So that made me recognize, holy crap, I did change in that I am a different person. Like, I don't hold on to pain. I don't hold on to like the anxiety I have felt the past few months and even last year, like the anxiety that I felt of the future and the past, like it just, and I think the live stream challenge really helped because I've been so intentional about how I focus my energy and how I'm thinking. And the only control I have is that I, like right now, I understand that my pace is that I'm healing myself, and this is still a process. But I'm further along in that I have more healthier interactions, and because I'm coming from a place of groundedness, that has helped a lot. And I did sense there to be confusion from people from the past because they don't understand that. I don't think they understand my pace because, but yeah, I am at this pace. So yeah, wow, it is really late, but thank you so much for being present. Danny, if you're still watching, thank you so much for watching. Wow, I look like I just cried. I did not cry, everyone. But yeah, that is the reason why I have started this live stream challenge, and that is what I have experienced throughout this live stream challenge. So hopefully throughout this experience, this journey, the mirroring effect worked on you, and that hopefully, like, me being vulnerable, I don't even see myself as being vulnerable right now, in that, like, even if I'm sharing so much of myself and my thinking, like literal thinking and my emotions with the world, I don't feel vulnerable in that. This is the truth. Like so hopefully it unlocks something within you that it like, you're seeing proof of someone who is literally like died and is trying to live. So hopefully something resonated, and something like you could take something from my presence and this journey, this pace that I put myself in throughout this 20-day live stream challenge. I feel like it's very unconventional, and to share it in this way, but it's something I needed and something that is working for me, and I feel better. So thank you so much for being on live today with us. And again, if you are from the future, please hit the like button to let me know if you have watched our live stream. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Also, let's see, takeaway. Usually I have those were all takeaways, but oh, Danny said something. Danny says, I'm really glad that you are feeling much better throughout the streams and getting to be who you really are. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And when I say who I really am, it's like, wherever we each are at in our lives, like right now, whenever you're watching this video, whenever you hear, this is who you are. And that means like not all the skills you've acquired, not all the background you have. It's just like this being, your existence is who you are. So everything else is additional, and it's great. But you yourself, this is my understanding of myself right now. Like I myself I'm already whole, and I'm already an energy that I'm trying to share with the world. and we have so much to offer energetically. And yeah, so I'm glad that I got to like, or that I get to like have that groundedness, and I'm working on it each day, because just because today happened, tomorrow I still have to work on it. So I'm on this journey, and I'm so happy like most of you got to experience my growth. I don't know if you could tell by the way I talk or the way I think or like the whatever, but I definitely feel so much better emotionally, and because I have been so stuck with anxiety. So thank you so much for your energy and for your support. I will see you guys tomorrow. I can't believe tomorrow is the last day. Tomorrow will be interesting. Tomorrow will be interesting, but yeah, tomorrow will be interesting. Thank you so much for being present with me, and thank you for waking up today with intention. I know it's really late right now, so hope you guys have a good night tonight, and be kind to yourselves, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay. Bye. Thank you.